You're listening to Next Gen Nexus. Decoding the future of technology, one breakthrough at a time.
You know, it's crazy how much the internet has changed the way kids talk to each other.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's amazing for connecting with people and learning new things.
Absolutely.
But it also brings a whole new set of challenges, like cyberbullying, which can have a way bigger impact than the kind of bullying we saw back in the day.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's not limited to school or the playground anymore.
It can happen anywhere, anytime.
It's like a 247 thing.
Exactly, and it can be really tough for kids to deal with.
Especially when you consider that almost 60% of teens in the US have experienced some form of cyberbullying.
Wow, that's a huge number.
It is, and it really highlights how important it is to understand this issue.
For sure, we can't just ignore it.
So let's start by defining what cyberbullying actually is.
Okay, so cyberbullying is basically using electronic communication to bully someone.
Okay, so anything online then?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So like, what are some examples of that?
Well, think about things like spreading rumors online.
Okay, that's a classic.
Yeah, or photoshopping pictures to make someone look bad.
Oh yeah, that's mean.
It is, and it can be really hurtful.
What else?
Sending threats is another one.
Oh wow, that's serious.
It is, and it can have serious consequences.
So it's like taking those old school bullying tactics and amplifying them in the online world.
Exactly, and it can be a lot harder to escape.
Because it follows you everywhere. And it's important to remember that the effects of cyberbullying are very real.
Absolutely. It's not just teasing or messing around.
This stuff can have a lasting impact on the kid's mental health.
You're right, and there's research to back that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was this study in England and Wales that showed that many young people who were cyberbullied ended up feeling anxious and depressed.
That's awful.
It is, and some even had thoughts of suicide.
That's really scary.
It is, and it shows just how serious this problem is.
But can't just brush it off.
No, we need to take it seriously.
It's interesting, though, that while the digital age has created this new way to hurt others, it's also given us tools to fight back.
Yeah, that's true.
We just need to make sure we're using them effectively.
Right, and that's where a multifaceted approach comes in.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, there's no one single answer to this problem.
I see.
We need a combined effort from everyone involved: parents, teachers, mental health professionals, and even the tech companies themselves.
Okay, so let's break that down a bit.
Sure.
So first we have therapists and counselors who are trained to recognize the signs that a kid might be struggling.
Yes, they can provide individual support and help kids develop coping mechanisms.
That's really important.
It is, and there are also programs specifically designed to teach kids how to be resilient and bounce back from challenges.
Can you give me some examples?
Sure. There are evidence-based programs like Sources of Strength and Signs of Suicide that have shown really promising results in preventing mental health issues and even suicide.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is, and it shows that we can make a real difference.
And of course, we can't forget about the role of parents.
Absolutely. Communication is key.
Parents need to be having those open and honest conversations with their kids about online safety and responsible social media use.
You're right. It's all about building trust, so kids feel comfortable coming to their parents if they encounter any problems online.
And it's not just about talking either.
Right.
The American Psychological Association actually recommends that parents monitor their kids' social media use.
Especially for younger kids under 15.
So it's not about spying on them.
No, it's about providing guidance and support as they learn to navigate this complex online world.
That makes sense.
And it's encouraging to see that even tech companies are starting to step up.
Like how?
Well, for example, Meta is now using AI to try and detect cyberbullying happening on their platforms.
That's pretty cool.
It is, although it's still early days.
I see.
The most important thing is that we have everyone working together: parents, teachers, mental health experts, tech companies. Everyone needs to be on the same page to create a safe and supportive online world for our kids.
That makes a lot of sense. So knowing all of this, what can we do to make sure young people not only know how to spot and report cyberbullying, but also help build a culture of respect and empathy online?
That's the key question, isn't it?
I think so.
We need to move beyond simply reacting to incidents.
Okay.
And be more proactive in fostering a digital world where kindness is the norm.
I like that.
It's about shifting the focus from just telling kids what not to do online
Right.
to empowering them to use their voices for good.
I love that idea.
It's about creating a digital world where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued.
That's a great goal to strive for.
Yeah.
And I think it's something we can achieve if we all work together.
I agree. It's a collective effort.
And it starts with each one of us making a conscious choice to be kind and respectful online.
Absolutely. Our actions matter even in the digital world.
And that's a powerful message to leave our listeners with.
I think so too. Yeah, it really starts with education.
Education, like what?
Teaching young people how to be good digital citizens, like how to behave responsibly online.
So like digital etiquette.
Exactly. And also helping them understand that their actions, even in the virtual world, can have real consequences.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's easy to forget that what you do online can impact people in the real world.
For sure.
So it's about giving them the tools and knowledge to navigate the online world safely, knowing how to recognize cyberbullying when they see it,
Right.
how to report it, and how to support their friends who might be going through it.
Exactly. It's about creating a sense of community and shared responsibility online.
So it's not just about protecting yourself.
No, it's about looking out for each other.
We need to encourage young people to be upstanders, not bystanders.
I love that upstanders, not bystanders.
To speak up when they see something wrong and support each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we can't forget about the role of adults in all of this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Grown-ups have a huge role in shaping the online world too.
Right.
It's not just about what kids do, it's about adults setting a good example.
Leading by example, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, kids learn by watching the adults around them.
If we're respectful and responsible online, we're showing them what a healthy online community looks like.
It's about showing them that the internet can be a positive and supportive place.
And that means being accountable for our own online behavior too.
Absolutely. We all need to be mindful of the words we use online,
Yeah.
the content we share, and how we treat others in the digital space.
It's about building a culture of empathy and respect, both online and offline.
Exactly.
And it's important to remember that the digital world is constantly changing.
Oh, yeah, it's always evolving.
New platforms pop up, trends come and go. The ways young people interact online are always evolving.
Right. And that's why it's so important to stay informed.
Stay up to date.
Exactly. And be willing to adapt.
We need to be aware of the latest trends, the potential risks, and the best strategies for dealing with cyberbullying.
It's a continuous process of learning and adjusting.
So we can't just set it and forget it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's a process that requires everyone to work together. Researchers, educators, policymakers, parents, tech companies.
It takes a village.
Right? Everyone needs to collaborate to find solutions that actually work and can keep up with the ever-changing online world.
Yeah, it's a shared responsibility.
We all have a stake in creating a digital world that's safe, supportive, and empowering for all young people.
Absolutely. And it's a conversation that needs to keep happening.
We can't let it fade into the background.
No, we need to keep talking about cyberbullying, raising awareness, and working together to find solutions.
But it's also crucial to remember that the digital world isn't all doom and gloom.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There's so much potential for good,
There is.
and we need to focus on that too.
Absolutely.
So how can we encourage young people to use their online platforms to spread positivity, kindness, and make a real difference in the world?
Well, I think it's important to remember that there are so many inspiring stories of young people using the internet to make a positive impact.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whether it's raising awareness for important causes, supporting their peers, or building online communities around shared interests, the possibilities for good are endless.
It's really amazing to see what young people are doing online.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really important point to highlight. We need to shift the focus from just preventing the negative to actively promoting the positive.
Exactly.
It's all about empowering young people to see themselves as digital citizens who can contribute to a better world.
Right.
We need to encourage them to use their online platforms for good, whether that's spreading kindness, advocating for change, or simply sharing their creativity and passion.
Yeah.
It's not just about telling them what not to do online.
You're right.
It's about inspiring them to be a force for good in the digital space.
Exactly. And that's something I think we can all get behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really inspiring to see young people taking charge and using their voices to make a difference.
It really is. And it's a great reminder that the digital world isn't all bad.
Exactly. There's so much potential for good.
And I think it's important to highlight that shift. From focusing solely on preventing the negative to actively promoting the positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to empower young people to see themselves as agents of change.
Like digital superheroes.
Kind of, yeah, like digital citizens who can make the online world a better place.
And that starts with encouraging them to use their platforms for good.
For sure, whether it's spreading kindness, advocating for a cause, or just sharing their passions.
It's not about limiting them, it's about inspiring them.
Exactly, giving them the tools and the encouragement to make a positive impact.
So it's not just about saying don't do this or don't do that.
Right, it's about saying, hey, you have this amazing platform, use it to make a difference.
Be a force for good.
Exactly, and I think that's a message that resonates with young people.
I think so too, and it's a message that we can all get behind.
Absolutely, we all have a role to play in creating a kinder, more empathetic online world.
And that starts with each of us making a conscious decision to use our own digital voices for good.
Well said. I think this has been a really important conversation.
Me too. And I hope our listeners will take these insights and share them with their friends and family.
Yeah, spread the word.
We all have a responsibility to create a better digital world, especially for the next generation.
Couldn't agree more. It's a collective effort.
And it starts with each of us choosing to be kind, respectful, and responsible online.
Absolutely. Those are values that should guide us both in the real world and the digital world.
Well said. And on that note, I want to thank you for joining us today for this important conversation.
It was my pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Next Gen Nexus.